Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in here if you are scared and hurting and disappointed and anxious. We are here to hold one another. And we invite you to come in here where we go live the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Please turn and wave to our friends joining us on live stream. We are holding you today, and you are holding us today as well. In this month's worship, our theme is deep listening, and today in particular, we will be exploring how we can listen for the sounds of hope in our lives and in our world. And connection is a big part of loving the world, and we have 3 upcoming ways for you to continue to connect in with this community and to remember that you aren't alone. One of them is taking place today after the worship service. The member engagement team is hosting a newcomers social, and you're invited to come into that. There are snacks and drinks. There'll be conversation and a chance to get to know each other a little better. And if you are new and wondering, where in the world is this magical event taking place, just follow the people to the back of the sanctuary and through the double doors, and the room for that gathering will be apparent. Also, this coming Thursday, the member engagement team is hosting a social hour on the beautiful back courtyard patio that will be from 5 until 7, and all are welcome to that event. And then next Sunday, for those of you who are parents, we have a parents' articles discussion group where you'll be talking about how to practice the art of deep listening with your children and with your family. That happens at 9:45 next Sunday, and there is childcare available. If you're new to Throop, we would love to stay in touch. You can fill out an info card that you'll see in that pew in front of you and hand it in a little later in the worship service. Will you take a breath in with me, please? And gently exhale. And just take in the fact that you are not alone. And we will move through the next months and the next years supporting and holding one another. And each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. May this flame remind us that we are not alone, but intertwined in the dance of life with one another. May we listen carefully for each other's needs and support one another through the sways and dips we'll experience. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
And as we continue to gather in, our opening hymn is Blue Boat Home. It's in this teal hymnal. Turn to number 1064 and rise and sing out as your body and spirit allow. Blue Boat Home, number 1064.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry seas, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home.
And gently sway near someone and welcome them into worship this morning.
I heard a little bit from you the other day. There was some other stuff going on. I'm so sorry. It's just such.
I'm very impressed with her one-handed.
I'm getting better with it with time.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't. We got you. We're here for you.
I'm here for you too. Underneath my whatever fucking mess I'm in.
I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on. Breathe the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Poet Joyce Sutphin wrote, "Listen carefully. Your whole life might depend on what you hear." This morning already, what have you heard or seen or touched or tasted? Those things created your reality, constructed your world. They led into who you are in the process of becoming. Be mindful of what you take in and absorb. In this church, we listen for the true, we listen for the sacred, we listen to all of that in each one of us, and we listen for it in each other. We listen for it in our earth. Let's say together, Throop's promise to our planet, and you will find the words to that in your order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself.
This responsive reading is by Lisa Friedman, and your response will be, "Through deep listening, we open sacred space between us." Should we practice that? Mm-hmm. Through deep listening, we open sacred space between us. We live in a fragmented world that tempts us to despair. We would put it back together, piece by piece, if it were ours to choose. Through deep listening, we open sacred space between us. But sometimes the fragments are enough. In a world of cruelty, there is still power in every act of kindness. Through deep listening, we open sacred space between us. In a time of doubt, there is still power in every act of hope. In an age of division, there is still power in every act of unity. Through deep listening, we open sacred space between us. May we remember that sometimes the fragments of meaning we make are just the right size to hold in our hands. Through deep listening, we open sacred space between us.
This morning, our Throop players bring us a lesson about deep listening, and it's called The Cricket Story.
Once, there were two friends walking down the sidewalk in Old Town Pasadena on a busy Friday night. If you've been there on the weekend, you know it gets really busy and pretty loud over there. Cars, people walking and talking and laughing, music floating in and out from the stores. In the midst of all that noise, one of the friends turns to the other and asks,
"Did you hear that?"
What? The cars, the people walking and talking and laughing, the music floating in and out from the stores?
"I hear a cricket."
The other friend responds with skepticism.
No way! How could you possibly hear a cricket with all this noise and everything going on? You must be imagining it.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. 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 Oh. Yeah.
No, really, I do hear a cricket. It's over there.
They stop for a moment and they look at a spot in the sidewalk with a tree growing up. Pushing back some leaves on the ground, they found a little brown cricket.
That's amazing! You must have superhuman hearing.
No, my hearing is the same as yours.
What's your secret?
It's all about how I was raised and about what I was taught to listen for. There's no secret. Here, I'll show you.
They reached into their pocket, pulled out some loose change, and dropped it on the sidewalk. Amid all the cars, laughter, talking, and music, everyone who was rushing by suddenly stopped to listen.
See? It's all a matter of what you are listening for.
Thank you. Each Sunday, our children go to Kids Dig In, where they learn to listen carefully for crickets, for the sounds of cows mooing. They listen to the sounds of hope and longing in their own hearts. Today, we thank Carson and Faith for being with our youngest ones, and we have a practice of singing them into the program, and the words for that are in your order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
Today's pondering is Against Panic by Molly Fisk. You recall those times, I know you do, when the sun lifted its weight over a small rise to warm your face. When a parched day finally broke open, real rain sluicing the sidewalk, rattling city maples. and you, and you, so sure the end was near. Like a house of cards tipped over, falling, hope's last breath extinguished in a bitter wind. But oh, friend, search your memory again. Beauty and relief are still there, only sleeping.
Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let a stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
In the midst of a world that seems chaotic and confusing and disappointing, and for so many people, scary right now, here in this place, you can find stillness and support, and this community that is grounded in love and is always reaching for justice. This congregation is ours. We support it through gifts of time and talent and treasure. For those of you that are able, you can make a financial donation today online. The ways to do that are in the order of worship. You can make a donation here in the room when the offering plate comes by. And if you're a first-time visitor today, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by. This worship service is a gift for you. Thank you for all the ways you support our Throop community life. The morning offering will now be gratefully received.
I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light, 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 I am light.
None of the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that crossed your pain. I am not the pieces of the dream that left me wide. I am light. 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 I am light.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service. Brad, our live stream operator, Rachel, our lay reader, Carson and Faith with the children's program, Chris and Cynthia, greeters and ushers, our treat players for sharing our lesson, and the reminder that cows moo and crickets chirp. Thank you. We needed to know that today. Rachel and Paula for creating this beautiful altarscape for the month of November. I'd like to thank choir for your dedication to lifting our spirits through beautiful music. Tom for being our coffee and conversation host. Campus caretaking committee arrived early and met thinking and talking about ways to hold our beautiful sacred space here. I'd like to thank the member engagement team for hosting a newcomer social, which is happening after worship, and we love all our newcomers to attend that. Malcolm, for your amazing collaboration and deep spirit on music. Hillary, for all of your administrative support throughout the week. And as we pause in recognition for all of the ways we support our Throop community life, I invite you to share the words of gratitude that are in your order of worship. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share.
would love to teach you all maybe a new song. You've probably heard me sing it, but I would love for you to sing some of this with me. Would you repeat after me if I sing? I'm awake for you. Try that. I'm awake I'm awake for you. I'm awake I'm awake for you. I'm awake I'm awake for you. I'm awake for you. Oh yes, I'm awake for you. I love this so much. You sound amazing this morning. Tell me what makes you weary. Tell me what lights up your eyes. I'll meet you there in the middle. We'll lay down and harmonize. Tell me what makes you peaceful. Tell me what you fantasize. I'm taking notes in the moonlight. We'll lay down and harmonize. Here we go. I'm awake for you. I'm awake for you. I'm awake for you. I'm awake for you. Tell me what keeps you honest. Tell me what keeps you inspired. I'll always come in the morning. We'll lay down and harmonize. Tell me what moves you ready. Tell me what moves your insides. I'll bring the soul, bring the steady. We'll lay down and harmonize. I'm awake for you. 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 I'm awake for you.
I haven't cried yet this week, but I might come right now, so please be patient. About a dozen of us gathered on Wednesday night at the Interfaith Vigil, and our intern minister, Nick, wrote and shared this piece with us, and I'm going to attempt to read it for you right now. It's a prayer against apathy. Nature is only ever at work. Take stock of the world around you, constantly in movement, each action suited to its end. Fire, with its ferocity and veracity, devours, ignites, it roars its presence, and sprints to the front. From it, people recoil. It singes and scars, but it also clears space. Some of us must act like fire. Water, with its elegant, erosive powers, steady is the flow of its work. With direction, sustainability, a river is what nourishes and carves. Not a typhoon which destroys indiscriminately, recedes, and leaves the people in drought. Some of us must act like water. Earth, with its food to eat and generative soil, its man forms of living companions to comfort us in times of solitude, of loss. Earth rejuvenates and holds us. Some of us must act like earth. Air, so integral to all of us, we must remind ourselves to notice breath. Not one of us lives without it. Not one of us is untouched by it. It cannot help but give and forgive. Single-minded, it knows everything as one. Some of us must act like air. May we each model in our natures the best in nature, eternally changing, knowing only movement, and an urge to create life. Amen, and blessed be.
Were people able to get a copy of 1 Foot Lead with Love? You might
I see some
gently
copies.
turn around, and if it seems like someone near you doesn't have it, you might figure out a way to share it in a way that feels friendly and welcoming.
Otherwise, you can always just follow me and follow choir, because we're going to sing. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes. Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. Look up ahead. The path is there. The path is there. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put 1 foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put 1 foot in
scared too.
And I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am.
Right next to you.
Right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
And lead with love.
And lead with love.
In the days and weeks and months to come, we will be inundated with analyses and speculations and opinions about what exactly happened on Tuesday night. It started almost immediately. I am taking my time to process it. I have not been ready to fully dive into the post-game play. I don't want to know yet about what should have been done or should not have been done. I don't want to experience all the blame. What I do want, I want to feel all my feelings right now. I want to be able to figure out my own thoughts before I start absorbing and taking in all the thoughts and opinions of everybody else. What I do know is that as a nation, we have stumbled and fallen over each other's feet. We have gotten all twisted up. We have fallen so hard. We have fallen so far apart. Listening or understanding or finding each other somewhere amidst that tangle, it feels really impossible right now. This past week, I felt lost, and I know I'm not alone in that feeling. You have shared your own feelings of disappointment and despair and fear. The results of Tuesday night really rocked us, and they rocked us at a time when so many of you are already at your carrying capacity. This came at a time when you're parenting small children, grieving the loss of loved ones, looking for work or finding out, how do I be retired right now? You're worried about aging parents, and you're managing a whole lot of your own health needs. And in the midst of all that, you're paying the bills and you're shopping for groceries and figuring out what in the world are we going to have for dinner tonight, and you're volunteering at church. You were already full up before Tuesday night. And now this. the chaos, the harm, the alarm that we know is coming because we've already lived through it once. And it's a lot. And if anyone in your circle, whether it's a family member or a friend or a coworker or a blogger you read or a TikTok you watch, if any of them tries to tell you that you're taking this too seriously, that you know what, it's over and it's just time to move on, if they're telling you that you're overreacting, if they tell you that you just need to let go, I have one word for you. Nope. Nope. You all probably already know this, but in case you don't, or in case you know it but doubt your own knowing, we are holding compound trauma and stress from previous years. We are holding it from the harm and alarm of 2016 and beyond and through the pandemic. You have valid concerns about the safety and well-being of yourself, the safety of friends, family, coworkers, especially people who are immigrants, people who are transgender, people who are transgender immigrants. Give yourself the time and space you need now to process, to grieve, to tend to yourself, and to regather your strength. Rejuvenate as much as you can, because when you do, you are building your own inner capacity for your own inner strength. You're deepening your awareness of yourself and others, and you're honing your ability to regulate yourself, which we will need. And finally, remember that you belong to a church that considers itself a part of the resistance. A church that considers itself a place where we are building solidarity and that we are providing sanctuary for anyone who will come under direct attack. Solidarity and sanctuary. On Thursday morning, I listened to the sounds around me and I realized I was missing something. I wasn't singing. I start almost every morning to either the delight or disgust of my cats, singing them the most beautiful, nonsensical songs that celebrate their existence and very cat essence in the world. Put one paw in front of the other, bum, 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 bum. But I realized I wasn't singing. And then I remembered something that I read almost 20 years ago, but it stayed with me all of this time because it has something to teach us. I read that in some indigenous cultures, a disconnected person is diagnosed by asking them 4 questions. When did you stop listening to the silence? When did you stop telling stories? When did you stop singing? And when did you stop dancing? Friends, we are only going to be able to be that place of resistance, offering solidarity and sanctuary if we are tending to our hearts and our minds and our bodies and our spirits. It is more important than ever that we practice connection with ourselves, with each other, what we understand to be sacred, and connection with our beautiful blue boat home, our earth. Those connections help us listen for hope. They help us remember to sing and dance and tell stories and listen in the silence. Our lives and the lives of people that are depending on us to show up, they need us to remember to do these things. These practices of connection create our reality, they construct our world, and they deepen the you that you are always in process toward becoming. And as much pain or confusion or disappointment that you are holding in this moment, you are also keeping the faith. And you are noticing, I know you are, what is bringing you hope. Some of you reached out to me this week and shared things that are giving you hope right now. You wrote things like, we are the people who are here for a reason, to shine and to love the best we can. There is no other choice. You wrote that the change in administration will not stop me from living my UU values or from finding ways to get into good trouble. Overwhelmingly, you voiced your gratitude for this congregation, this community that we create and support, and you said, we will survive with the support of one another. And one of you said to me and another elder in the church, you said, we young people need you to keep showing up. Soon, we will be connecting with our partner organizations and using our resources to center our ethic of love amidst the changes that are coming. Each one of you will have a role to play. Each one of you has your own unique strengths. We won't all show up in the exact same way, and that's a good thing. Today's prayer, written by Nick, our intern minister for the Interfaith Vigil, it connected the 4 elements with characteristics that are needed from us at this time. Which of these connect with you today? Are you feeling like water, steady, nourishing, sustaining? Are you feeling like fire, fierceness, and high energy, the one that marches forward and clears space for the rest of us? Are you feeling more like earth, comfort, rejuvenation, generative energy? Or are you feeling more like air, generosity, focus, connecting? Holding hope and encouraging others to hope when they are feeling discouraged, that's what we do. What brings you hope today? When you're ready, I invite you to come down to our altar, and I'd like you to write your word of hope, that hope that is stirring in your heart, to write it on either one of these branches or on a leaf that we have, and Rachel will help you with that. And then we also want to send you away with a reminder of which element you connect with. And on this table with a green cloth on it, you'll see some little cards. Each one has an element. There's a message for you inside of the card. and there's a tea light on top. And take that tea light home with you. And when you are feeling alone, light that and remember that we hold each other and you are connected here. So as you feel moved, you can make your way gently down to the altar. Hope's last breath has not been extinguished. It lives on in each one of us. The late historian Howard Zinn wrote, "To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, kindness. What we choose to emphasize will determine our lives. If we see only the worst, it destroys our capacity to do something. If we remember the times and places, and there have been so many where people have behaved magnificently, that gives us energy to act. The future is an infinite succession of presents. And to live now as we think human beings should live is a defiance of all that is bad around us. It is in itself a marvelous victory." Some of you might remember, if you were here, that a few months ago I told you that once again, like I did in 2016, that I had some special shoes ready to go out and do my victory laps on this Sunday. And one of you did remember that, and you reached out to me this week and you said, "I hope you haven't let those shoes go, because now you need to call them your resistance sneakers." Yes, I have got them, and I will be ready with you all. In the days to come, do the grieving that you need to do, process disappointment, but also connect with your communities. By doing that, you will bolster your spirit, so when it's time to put on your own resistance sneakers, you will be ready to fully engage. Our movements in sync, we will help one another. Remember how to listen in the silence. We'll help each other remember how to tell those important stories of resistance, remember how to sing, and remember how to dance. And our closing hymn is "Let It Be a Dance," number 311, and the gray hymnal. And please rise and sing out as body and spirit allow, number 311.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need to reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow in the wind. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. So take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong and nothing's right, let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance. 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 Let it be a dance.
Take the hand of someone near you in the room, or gently place your hand across your heart. Our chalice is extinguished and we carry its light with us. Remember to dance, remember to sing, remember that you are not alone. Together we create deeper love, solidarity, sanctuary. I love you all. Go out and love the world in only the way you can. Amen and blessed be.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pains, we all have sorrow. If we are honest, then there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, no one can fill those of your needs. Then you always show. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, right up the road, and I'll share your load. If you just call me, lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Yeah, I need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem, but you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Somebody to lean on. Somebody to lean on.
True dance party.